hottest station is now live for your enjoyment with host Iambranded.
Good evening, and welcome to Ladies Night Radio. I am your host tonight, Azure, and my co-host, hey Mama.
What's going on, Queen? It's Ladies Night. Big shout out to everybody that's tuned in live right now. Of course, we got some hot guests coming through, and I am so excited to talk with these ladies and get some jewels dropped on us tonight. So let's go. It's Ladies Night.
I know we got Miss Lisa Green in the building. We got Miss owner of AMN Magazine, and she is doing phenomenal things. Always got stars in her magazine, just doing the damn thing. So I'm incredibly proud of her. Got Miss Makia Somerville also in the building. She is the owner of It Factor Agency, which does nothing but PR for celebs and does fabulous events, and they are both beautiful, amazing divas, and it's all about phenomenal divas and beautiful women that are doing amazing things in the industry. So they're going to be giving us game on how to be a respectable woman in the entertainment industry, which is not an easy thing. So without further ado, letting the two ladies on. Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Miss Nakia. How are you? And is my neighbor Lisa on as well?
Hello.
Hello. Hi, ladies.
Hi.
Welcome to Ladies Night Radio.
Hi, ladies. Thank you. Thank you. This is Lisa Green. Thank you, ladies. Thank you for having me.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So Miss Lisa, I'll let you go first. Tell the people who you are and what you do and what makes you so fabulous.
I'm sorry.
Hello. Yeah. Tell everybody who you are and what you do exactly. And.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. My name is Lisa Green, and I am the editor and publisher of AMN Magazine. And AMN Magazine is geared primarily to R&B music and independent music. And I have really been fortunate to speak with a lot of R&B artists, classic R&B artists, like Brian McKnight, Shantae Moore, Donnell Jones, and the list goes on and on. So that is AMN Magazine.
That's what's up. And Ms. Makia Somerville, can you explain exactly what It Factor Agency does, please?
Yeah. Hi, guys. I'm Makia Somerville, owner of It Factor Agency. It Factor is a boutique PR agency based in Los Angeles, or established in Chicago, my hometown, but I moved to L.A. Back in 2012 to expand my business and work primarily in the entertainment industry. So right now I have actors and a comedian and style ambassadors in L.A. and a fabulous dancer as well. So I'm keeping busy, and I'm also an entertainment reporter for a website called Press Pass LA. So busy girl.
My goodness. You both are definitely doing the damn thing. That's amazing. Miss Lisa Green, how did you get involved in the entertainment industry?
Well, it was born out of my passion for music, and particularly my passion for R&B music. Over the past few years, I kind of saw R&B music dwindle and more kind of fade into the background, and I just felt like there was room for everything. And for whatever reason, the music genre that I have appreciated for most of my life just wasn't as, in the forefront as it had been in years past. So I thought, like, what can I do about this? What can I do to contribute to R&B music and, and show my appreciation for this music genre that I grew up listening to. Music was always around my house. We listened to, gospel music. My parents played some of everything, gospel, R&B, country, just some of everything, but for the most part, R&B. So I just combined two passions that I've always had, music and writing. And what started as my attempt at a magazine, initially a digital magazine, and when I launched it in 2011, by the third issue, I had Donnell Jones. And at the time, he was my first big interview, if you will, and he agreed to cover the third issue of the magazine. And from there, things just kind of took off. Right after that issue was issue number 4 with Avant on the cover, and after that one, Faith Evans. And I think that more or less the artists appreciated that I knew music and I knew what I was talking about when I would speak with them, and that I had a genuine appreciation for that art form and for them as music artists, and that I had a genuine desire to open that platform up again and make people aware of these artists and give them some place to shine. And so they appreciated that, and more they started to come to the magazine. And with that, people wanted to see more. They wanted to read more, and there started to be this surge of people asking, why isn't this magazine in print? It's just as good, if not better, than some of the other publications out there on newsstands. We need this in print. So about a year ago, I sent it to print, and it took off. It far exceeded any expectation that I had. And now I have readership here, of course, in the U.S., in Tokyo, in Australia, in Spain, and it's been amazing.
Wow. That's what's up. Like, that's amazing to be able to have such a worldwide impact. Same question for you, Ms. Akia. What got you into the entertainment industry?
Oh, wow. Well, I started off thinking that I wanted to be an event planner, and so I was thinking of doing that. But then I started interning for a small PR agency in Chicago, where my first event was working with Snoop Dogg. We were bringing his youth football league to Chicago. So I did that in the after party with Adidas and rocked that event. So, I've just never been one to work for people. And so, I figured I could start, my own company, do this for myself. And that's what I did. My best friend, Rodney, he helped me. My sister, Tamika, they both helped me launch my agency. And I started to network with people in Chicago, just make contacts. And then that developed into clients. And, I was kind of known for doing events in Chicago at first, like just really managing events, launch events. And it was particularly in fashion, which is a passion of mine. I love fashion. But then, I felt like I hit a ceiling in Chicago. I love Chicago. That's where I got my start, so it's definitely much respect to everyone in the industry there. But I just wanted to take it a little bit, a step further, and so I moved to L.A. With much planning and saving and sacrifice.
Right.
I moved here, and things picked up fast. Like, I just did not expect for it to go as fast as it did. I started writing for Press Pass LA, which, I just owe them everything because they opened up so many doors of me networking here and meeting people and celebrities and everything, and then things just kind of took off. Like, I get my clients from word of mouth, and so, I'll get one client, and then they tell a friend, and they tell a friend, and so it just
awesome.
developed, into this big thing, and so, I'm here.
That is
Thank you.
Ms. Diva, what questions do you have for our lovely guests?
Oh, I just want to say to the ladies, I'm so proud and so excited for you guys, and congratulations on all your success. Now, with
Thank
success,
you so much.
there does.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
With success, there does come some hard work, as we all know. So my first question is going to go to Lisa Green. Within the first year of you, well, let me ask you this. How long has the magazine been established now?
It is now 3 years.
3 years. Congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited for you on that.
Thank you.
So within the first year, what was some things that you overcame that you said, you know what, I'm not going to let this get to me? What did you overcome in the first year in your magazine business and launching your magazine?
Oh, wow, that is such a great question. I've always loved music. I've always loved writing. Those things kind of came easy to me. But publishing a magazine, I had no idea what I was doing. I knew that I wanted to do it, but I was like, I have no idea where to start. I thought after doing some research to post the magazine digitally would have been the better start to kind of, grab my audience. Of course, I can reach as many people as I want via the internet. So I thought that would be a great way to start, but how do I get started? So I reached out to some people who had a lot of programming experience, just a lot more knowledge I felt with software and that kind of thing to help me out. And it just so happened at the time they were busy, they had other projects, and for whatever reason was not available when I needed them. So I decided, you know what, I can either decide not to do this and come up with something else, or I can follow what I know is my passion. And no one has ever told us that anything worth having would be easy. So I decided that, look, I am going to do this. This is what I want to do, and I realized there's a learning curve there in terms of publishing and doing it the right way. And for me, I don't know, I'm a bit of a perfectionist in that way. Put my mind to an attempt. I want to do it, completely or not at all. So I purchased, books, and I read everything that I could read, and I did research and to publish a magazine. And actually,
yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Your phone's
Actually
cutting out.
launch it and do it the right way.
Right.
All right. Well, that's definitely great, and it's putting the education behind it is important, taking that time out, because all of us have to give ourselves a prep talk, whether it's personal or professional. We have to stop and say, you know what, let me just give myself a prep talk. And, I think that's awesome with you. And I'm going to come to you now, because you deal, and what a savvy name for your company. That's awesome.
Thank you.
How did you come up? What inspired that? Not how did you come up with? What inspired that name?
Well, I remember sitting in I was working at a law firm at the time as an office manager, and I remember sitting in my office with my best friend and my sister, and we were like, what can we name it? We went through a million names, and then I said, well, I only want to work with people that have that it factor. And when I said that, it just clicked. It was like, oh, that's the name of the company. I only want to work with the best up-and-coming talent, but you have to have it, and so that's how I came up with it. It was kind of random.
I mean, the it factor, it was very catchy, and it'll catch eyes, online, if you're seeing it, and it'll catch ears and say, the it factor, what is this? I'm interested in it. So, great job on that. And my question to you is, because you deal with a lot of celebrities and sometimes celebriton-dongs, I like to call them, what is a non-negotiable? What is something, we're dealing with those artists and, whether indie or whether celebrity, sometimes they have these outrageous demands. What is it that you would not tolerate, and what is a non-negotiable for you to pick up a client?
Oh, my God. Girl. I mean, just disrespect is just, I'm never tolerating that. That is
yes.
You're not going to talk to me crazy. You're not going to talk to me any type of way. I respect everyone, and so you have to respect me in return. So that's where I draw the line. I'm definitely known to be, what's the word? Tough, I should say. So I'm definitely known, as being tough and I don't take any mess or crap or anything like that. So I may be a different type of publicist than a lot of those out there where they'll, and I do bend over backwards for my clients. I really do. I'll do anything within reason for them to make them successful. But we have to work together. I'm not going to just do work for you and you're not contributing anything. That's not how I work at all. And so everyone coming in, they know how I work, and that first consultation, I set down the rules and the guidelines, and it's either you play by my rules or we don't play. you know.
Right.
Exactly.
I hear that.
You're not going to pay me to disrespect me, or you don't pay me to disrespect me.
Exactly.
And big shout out to all the publicists out there, because I feel like y'all got the hardest job there is.
Oh,
Being
my
a radio
God,
personality, advertising and promotion, that's kind of, it's a big job that we do, but you guys have, somebody was asking me one time to be a publicist. I said, no, baby, I can't clean up nobody else's mess. I got 2 kids to take care of. I can't do that.
Yeah, it really is. You're
you guys,
everything. You really are everything to your clients. You become your friends. You become like family to them. You're with, your clients more than with your own friends and family. And so it's definitely, it can be tough.
And that was going to be my next question. Some of the things that you have sacrificed to, keep, not to just deal with your clients, but to keep your business in a respectable business. What are some of the things that you have had to sacrifice or put to the side to keep it, as we would say, 1,000?
Well, definitely sleep. That's number one. I don't get sleep. People always ask, like, how do you do it? How do you manage everything in one day? I'm like, I don't know. I don't sleep. So that's number one. And time, just like personal time. You don't really get that when everyone else is off on holidays and, just your personal time. I don't get that. There is no time off. There's no days off. My phone rings and I get text messages and emails and social media alerts 24/7. It never ends. So, that's the biggest sacrifice right there. Just your personal time and sleep and a little bit of money. Just building your brand and, investing back into your company. But those are the top 2 things I would say.
Well, with all the work that you're putting in and all the grind that you're putting in, it will pay off where you can just hire other people, have a bigger staff to take care of and do it, because you do deserve some diva time, as I would like to say. I have to do it. I will cut it off. I will cut my phone off. Listen, you broke a nail. You have to figure that out. I will get back to you on Monday.
Yeah, you do have to do that. I mean, I had to kind of do that this weekend. I was visiting Chicago and was with family, and, work never stops, but at the same time, there has to be a line drawn where, I'm here. I haven't seen my family in a year. I haven't visited home in a year. So you have to just make that, you have to let them know, like, look, I'm here for you all the time. Give me like 5 days. So.
Well, we appreciate your sacrifice, and I'm going to throw it back to you, Linnea. Of course, I got 1,000 more questions, but I'm just going to give it to you one little bit at a time.
Definitely. I would say for either one of you guys, actually Makia first, what has been the biggest challenges as a woman in this industry? And that's a super question. And how do you maintain being the woman that you are and, and having a good reputation? Like, what have you done to maintain that?
Well, one thing in PR, it's actually driven. It's a female-driven industry primarily. I definitely have some male PR friends here in L.A., but as a woman, competing with other women, that can get crazy in itself. PR and just the entertainment industry by itself is very, very competitive. You're kind of on your own, with the exception of a few people. I've definitely made friends where we all kind of look after each other. But in entertainment, it is driven by males. PR is like females, but entertainment as a whole in Hollywood is ran by men. So,
absolutely.
Just maintaining a balance of being strong and, you stick to your will, you stick to what you believe in, but at the same time is learning how to maneuver through Hollywood. There is a game, and you have to play it in order to get ahead and succeed. But that doesn't mean demeaning yourself, and it doesn't mean allowing anyone to disrespect you. Because, again, you all know how I feel about that by now.
Right.
But, if you're too aggressive, you're considered the B word, or, it's like you have an attitude. But then in PR, you can't be demure and you can't be a pushover because you'll never get anywhere. So it's just really finding a balance of being both, So that's kind of been the challenge with me. Like I said, I'm more known as just being really, really tough. And so with me, it's learning to, just kind of not bowing down, because I'll never bow down, but not taking everything so seriously, pick your battles, that type of thing. You'll just get so much further ahead. But I just stay true to who I am. I'm not changing who I am and what I believe for anyone in this industry. That is where I draw the line. I just feel like it's not worth changing who I am for anyone. So
absolutely, I think that's definitely a huge piece of advice. And Lisa Green and Makia Somerville are our guests here on Ladies Night Radio. Lisa, same question for you. What gives you, the drive, and what keeps you able to be that respectful woman and not having to go and do crazy things to gain attention? How do you stay in the spotlight and still have your dignity?
Well, you know what? For me, I have found that it's been, knowing what you're doing. People respect you, men and women alike, respect you when you're knowledgeable. You know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about. When I sit down to interview someone, I come armed with information. I know about their music. I know about the album and whatever projects they're working on. And when you can sit down and have an intelligent conversation with someone and direct questions to them respectfully and the same, and it is, too, about the way you yourself before someone else can. And if you carry yourself in that manner and you're always
Hello?
You do your job and you're out. There's no hanging.
Oh, no.
Did we lose her?
I don't know. Is her phone still on? I don't know. Her phone's cutting in and out. But I mean, I think she's making a really good point. She talks about, if you can, if you can hang on to yourself, if you're able to carry yourself properly, people will respect you.
Right.
And I think, and that's a huge thing. So, I mean, I think my question is, why, knowing this, and we all know this, so why in the world do these little girls, because they claim to be women, think that they have to show their ass, sleep with this guy or whatever just to get ahead? Why is that the misconception? I think that's the biggest thing that I'm still not understanding.
I mean, believing the hype, to some extent, that's a weak-minded individual, not confident in themselves. I think that it's a combination of things. I don't think that we can pinpoint it down to one thing. I think that past history has a lot to do with it, and, your background, and, there's a lot of things that come into play, so I don't want to pass judgment on why someone makes the decisions that they make, but it's just about, having self-worth and self-respect to know that, you're more than what someone else is telling you you have to be in order to succeed or get far. I've just always played by my own rules and did my own thing, and I don't care what other people think. I don't care what someone is telling me I have to do in order to be successful. It just is what it is. So.
Right. And I think that's the biggest thing about it. But I think the thing is now is that how is it now that we went from having all these beautiful examples of amazing women on TV to now we have so many crazy reality shows these girls are now emulating because they think it's cute. They're doing something because I want to be in Bad Girls Club, whatever. Oh, Real Housewives is acting a fool, and they have money, so I guess that's how I'm supposed to act. Where did the culture go that now this is the norm, as opposed to that is, as opposed to thinking, man, that girl's crazy. Now this is what the normal, quote unquote, is.
I mean, I think that because TV is so saturated with that, that's all that you see. There's not enough women and people stepping up. Well, I don't want to say that they're not stepping up. I just think that the spotlight and media aren't shined on the positive. You know, it's like I blame the people that watch this stuff. Like, and I'm guilty of it too. So, you know, I'm definitely not pointing fingers, but we watch it, so we're to blame for keeping this crap on the air. And we're not demanding for better things to be shown on TV. So, you know,
absolutely.
TV is about ratings. You know what I mean? TV is ratings.
Yep.
TV is a business, and they're going to show whatever gets the highest ratings. And if it's crap TV, then that's what's going to be played. And so we demand better, and we turn off our TVs, and, you know, we start creating better and more positive content, then this will just continue. You know, it'll just continue. We're not giving the positive women, we're not giving a platform to show, you know, who we are, what we can do, and to show younger women better. So that's my take on that.
I just wanted to jump in on that because I was just thinking about that at the top of the year of, you know, just like, you know, what Lisa Green said, what can I do? What can I do? And I said, you know what? Maybe I should go ahead and start researching and see about owning my own broadcasting station, my own network.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's just where I'm at right now. I mean, even though, you know, I do radio and we do promotions and whatnot, we work with a lot of indie artists, and all of my shows are set up for television. But in order to get some true power, ownership is powership. We need to own some stuff. You know, if we keep putting money in other people's hands, listen, we need to start owning some stuff, and that's my next goal, is to own my own network, and then we will be able to put these images out on a television, and then we'll be able to promote more positive imaging, and women are winning. We are winning. We are doing so much, and we are definitely winning. So what you're seeing, you know, what some people see on television say, well, if you don't like it, turn it off or whatever. I wish I could set a blaze to it and burn it to death. Like, why can I have that option?
Right.
Can I have that option? You know, it's not just, you know, don't watch it, don't look. That's just like seeing a woman being beaten in the alley and saying, hey, that's not your business, don't watch it. No, we have to do something about it because it has had a major impact. But I believe that we all should think about and coming together and owning our own network and our own cable station and whatnot. And stay tuned for Divas by ENT Network or Divas by TV, just because God bless me with the idea to do it.
Absolutely.
Right.
And, of course, we're going to be interviewing all you guys on that show, too.
Hey,
Miss Lisa Green, are you back with us? Miss Lisa? Oh, no, she's having phone issues. Grr.
We'll wait for her to come back. Oh, and I want to give a big loving and shout-out, just loving and shout-out and much respect to Maya Angelou. Rest in heaven, Mike. Thank you for leaving such beautiful, beautiful examples, beautiful knowledge, beautiful experience for us. We do have a true example, and we do have a leader that left some things behind for us, so it's more rest in heaven. I love that woman.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Absolutely.
Lisa
go ahead,
back
Mia. You
with
want to
us?
say something?
Oh, I thought that Lisa was, like, coming in.
I know. I'm trying to figure out what's going on her phone.
Oh, it must be bad reception or something.
Yeah.
But, no, to that, you know, Maya Angelou is definitely one of my favorite poets and authors, and I remember being younger and just reading all of her fabulous work, and so, you know, we definitely endured a loss today, but her words carry on, and, you know, we'll have that forever, so that's a good thing.
You're absolutely right. Isn't it amazing that we have something like that to share with our daughters? I just had a little baby girl. She's 5 months now. And isn't that amazing that we get to, thank you, to share that with our daughters and our little cousins and with our girlfriends and have like readings at the house and stuff like that when we have our dinner and our wine. I just think that's just amazing that we can share these beautiful things.
Yes, for sure, for sure. That's the good thing about, words and anything written, that lasts forever. So, that's part of why I wanted to become, even though I'm an entertainment reporter, so I don't write anything deep or anything like that, but, your work, you should take pride in whatever you're doing. Like, even this radio show, this is being recorded, so this will last forever. This is something to be proud of and that you can share, like you said, with your daughter and, just generations to come. So, absolutely.
Now, is there anything, like you just said, being a, entertainment publisher or reporter, like you don't share anything deep, but, is that something, do you feel like there is something, worth sharing or shareable in the entertainment industry, or will to be to come that you will be able to, share and, give us food with what you're doing? Or what would you like to share? What would you like to see?
Well, the good thing about a lot of the events that I cover a lot of charity events. So, that is where it becomes deep, where celebrities give back and, they use their name and their influence to different causes that they believe in and that they feel a light should be shed on. So I love covering those. Whenever those are offered to me, I jump on them because I'm all for a good cause. So, in that sense, when I write about those things, I feel that it's important, and I love, love, love any type of charity work. And a friend of mine actually just had an idea to launch a blog primarily dedicated to women. So, we will be creating our own platform to put different women in the spotlight. And so, you all can stay tuned for that. That should be launching this summer. So I'm definitely proud of that.
I think that's awesome. So say if I decided, you know what, I want to do a back-to-school blowout. Even for ENT, Ladies Night Radio, we want to do a back-to-school blowout, and we want to call you up and say, hey, we would like to have a celebrity to come out, to be able to get people to come out to donate so it can go towards, or before time, for it to go towards money, to go towards book bags and supplies and stuff like that. How will we go about it, and what type of budget do we need to be looking at, to get a celebrity to come out to perform, or, like you said, give their influence to bring people out to donate money?
A lot of the time, a celebrity, will do that stuff for like little to no money because it's charity. It's for a good cause. It's something that they believe in and, they're passionate about. People have a real bad misconception of a lot of celebrities. They're always like seen in such a bad light. But everyone that I've met really are great people. They really do use their power for good. And so I think that it would be fairly easy, honestly, to get a celebrity. You just reach out to their publicist and or manager and, just go from there. And that information is usually listed right on their website.
Well, see, that's what I'm talking about. Queen just dropped the jewel on us. Y'all heard it right here, Nexxlegacy Radio. And if you're on the line right now, all you got to do is press the one button to be heard. If you tuned in live with us right now, you want to ask a question to our guests. Want to give a shout out to
Yeah, all you got to do is call 949-270-5912. That's 949-270-5912. Press that one button if you want to be heard. Yes. So, yeah, it's actually been a crazy day. As Diva said earlier,
all of our days are crazy. When do we not have a crazy day?
Well, I mean, like today.
Since the day I met you, we've been normal. We have never been normal.
True, but I mean, but think about today. Like, I wake up and the first thing I hear is, Maya Angelou passed, and I'm just like, oh my goodness. And I was like, wait, no. I was like, for real? No, this can't be. Oh man, really?
I thought it was a joke. I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought it was
I
a
hoped
joke, like
it
the
was.
Facebook
I
thing.
really did. I'm like, whatever. They say somebody died all the time. Not a big deal. Whatever, right? And and then it's like they're like, no, it was confirmed, and I'm like, okay. And my mom's like, there's nobody to replace her. I'm like, yeah, you're right. There isn't
There
nobody
really
that can replace
isn't.
her.
No.
And
No, dang.
there isn't. And I mean, like,
Thanks,
and I was
Mom.
thinking that I was thinking that when I was working with because I've been doing poetry classes at this school in Chicago, and one of the main things, one of the poems I taught them was Still I Rise. And so I'm just thinking that, and I'm thinking about one of the girls that I worked with and how incredibly shy and just really like just such an introvert she was when I first met her. And I got her into writing her own poetry, but I had them perform Still I Rise, and like I see her now, and she's got energy, and she's talking loud, and she's
Wow.
got so much more respect for herself, and then you can just see a total change in this kid. And to think that somebody that had that much of an impact is gone is very, very painful. And and so people were like, well, people need to appreciate people when they're alive and not just when they're dead. And I agree with
Right.
that. And I think, and that's the biggest thing about it. Don't just all of a sudden now you like, oh, now you want to post whatever. But like, because I've been saying, my Angela was amazing and talking about, Still I Rise and stuff like that because I've learned it, because I've had to recite it, because, Phenomenal Woman, all those amazing poems that she's given us. And not only that, she was in acting, she was a director, she did so much and had such an impact worldwide. So yeah, it's gonna be hard,
Yeah,
and
it's really
so,
sad. I don't mean to pull the new fool card, but I did run into a new fool today.
Oh Lord, don't tell me they didn't know who she was.
She did not know.
Oh,
who
and you said
was.
she. Oh Lord,
And
come
I
on, now.
was like, well, I just, rolled up on the scene crispy and clean, as I usually do, network it. And it just happened to be at one of the salons that I network with. And, I was changing out the flyers in there or whatever. So I was like, yeah, my Angelo passed on, rest in heaven to her. And the young barber just looked at me. He wasn't that young. He was around our age. He
gave you the blank stare.
30.
No.
He gave me the blank stare. And I was looking at him like, what's wrong with you?
Wait.
Like,
Let me get this straight. He gave you the blank stare when you said Maya Angelou's passed? Wow.
Yes, he did.
Okay.
I was like, you don't know who Maya Angelou is?
I don't even know what to say about that
so
one.
done with him. I gave him the diva rundown. Do you hear me? I embarrassed him before I left in there. Everybody that came to the door, I said, this fool just said he don't know who Maya Angelou is. I said, you know who Gucci is? He said, yeah, I know who Gucci is. Don't say nothing else.
Right, you know who Gucci Man is, all right? Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know who that is.
You shouldn't even say nothing else. I said, you shouldn't even get a customer today because you don't know who don't you cut no hair. I made him sit there on his phone.
She said, don't you cut no hair.
Maya Angelou, I stopped his customer. I said, don't you sit in that chair until he tell me who Maya Angelou is. There's one thing that she contributes
She said,
to the community.
She said, I stopped his customer. She said, I stopped his
Oh, wow.
Oh, my God.
Newfood.com. And if my phone wouldn't have died, I would have took a picture of him and posted it on Facebook.
See, that was because it wasn't meant for you to put that out there, because you would have already know, Diva, she would have gone in, she would have snapped out and been like, oh, this photo. But because
I would have got my promo team on it and everything. We would have shared him all the way in the UK. I'm not saying you could at least act like, yeah, rest in peace, Maya Angelou. He was like, you Google it real quick or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are talking about amazing women. We are talking about Maya Angelou and the impact that she had on this country and young women, and just we are talking about how to be a respectable woman in the entertainment industry, because that is so crucial, and some people don't do it. Ms. Lisa Green had a couple of technical difficulties, so we will have her back on another show, absolutely. So make sure that we get everything together. But we do love that she came on for a little bit, but we'll be hanging out with her another time, and we'll stay tuned for that. But it's just been. I don't know how you don't know who Maya Angelou is at this point, because she's been everywhere. So
Right.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one. But I mean, I think you made a really good point when you talked about, you know, that a lot of these kids just, I don't know if it's not that they're even being, it's not even that they're not being raised right. It's not just what they're watching though. I think really Real Talk really where it started was the fact that there's so much crazy media out there to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you talk about National Enquirer used to be a joke. Now people are taking that as you know, they're taking that for real. And so that's the problem. Like I said, because they got a couple things right, now all of a sudden, they're doing good work. You know what I'm saying? They good. You feel me? So and too many of these quote unquote gossip sites have came out. My thing is, I don't understand why the news is talking about gossip. Last time I checked, the news was talking about what's going on with the weather, what's going on in the city,
agree.
and how in the world, you know, like, you're supposed to be informing us. I don't need to be, like, the news shouldn't have said anything about Kanye and Kim. Like, that should have been entertainment news. That's what we have entertainment news sites for. But everything has become entertainment. And I think that's where it went wrong. When people got to be entertained and not taught, that's the problem. And so you're not getting information. You're getting BS. You're getting gossip.
You're getting a lot of
what's
things
hot.
that are that don't really matter, that aren't really going to change anything. Because like even with Kim and Kanye's wedding, the whole shift from the girls, bring our girls back, and that whole campaign that was going on just a week ago was just forgotten, because Kim and Kanye got married. So I totally, I get where you're going.
It's like, wait a second, hold on, what? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, of a sudden
and it's
now.
It is hard to balance being in entertainment. Entertainment is what I do. It's my life.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely what I do, but you can't lose sight of what's important and understand that there's a whole big world outside of, this small entertainment industry. So you have to take into consideration other important things, that there's a whole world out there with real things going on that we need to pay attention to. So
Right.
I've seen a lot of the what I'm calling breeding of hate, and the media and with the young girls, they're breeding hate in them coming up. So that's why you see, even with grown women and with us, some of this media and shows and music, it's all subliminal, but it's breeding hate in us to hate each other. It doesn't matter the skin tone. It doesn't matter the profession. It's just breeding for us to compete. Just like with the whole, and I'm going to put Scandal out there. That's another show that's breeding hate. And Mary Jane, the show for the side chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's automatically pitching us against each other. And the way that, if I'm going to talk about the problem, of course I'm going to give a solution. The way that I have come to combat that, I now address women as queens. How you doing, queen?
Right.
How's everything going? Some women are totally taken back. Like, did she just call me a queen? And it changes how she don't even know how to respond at first. I have to let her catch up. But I get it. I understand it. But I have to breed the love out. I have to push the love out to breed out the hate.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, I think that... Yeah, we need to just go back to genuinely wanting to see other people succeed just as much as we do, Take the jealousy out of it. I have so many PR friends here in L.A., and anytime they have good news, I share it. I congratulate them. They do the same for me, and I just think that we really need more of that. So,
absolutely.
Just doing it by example. If we constantly do it. It's just like you hear a song. And if you do it verbatim, you hear it, you're going to start, even if you didn't like the song in the beginning, you're going to start picking up the lyrics. You're going to start picking up behavior. And that's what we're doing now. We're sharing the network. We're supporting one another, and we're moving forward. But, sometimes we got to start checking our girlfriends, too. When we're all having dinner,
what?
and when we at the house, and if they always talking negative stuff, we got to press the stop. Like, excuse me, I need you to reset your conversation because it's too negative. Let's talk about some positive stuff. We didn't come here to have a hate rally. You ain't said one nice thing yet.
Right.
You should at least hug my baby. Dang, you just came with the denim. You need a hug.
Right? Exactly. And this
We
is
do
Ladies
need to
Night
check our
Radio.
conversation.
We are live with Makia Somerville at Vector Agency. If you guys want to call in and join the conversation, hit 949-270-5912 and press the 1 button if you want to be heard. But yeah, I mean that, and that's the thing. I said this whole breeding hate situation. I'm just like, where in the heck did we get this? Where did this come from? Who said that this was going to be what's hot? And that's what I'm trying to feel like. All it's doing is putting women against each other, putting people of color against each other, and everybody else can watch and, they see the show kind of deal.
Right.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, women fighting on TV
the cattiness
is
you
just
getting over there, girl.
You said what?
I can just imagine the cattiness and the drama that you see and have to deal with every day and write about it. Girl, I'm praying for you, Diva. Lord, I can just imagine. And you L.A.? I just came from New York. I can just imagine you over in L.A.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That's like being in Atlanta. Oh.
It's a lot of it. I used to live in Atlanta, too, so.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, there is a lot of it, and I just choose to stay away from it. Like, once you even start, like, putting that out there, I remove myself from the situation because it's that simple. I don't, I choose where I am and who I'm around and who, I want to spend my time with. So if you're a hater and you're putting that out there, I just choose to remove myself and I just don't deal with you. I don't have the time. I don't have time to go back and forth with anyone and argue. I'm too busy for all that. So
have you ever been in a situation or had a situation where you was like, you know what, this is going to hurt my business. This is going to hurt my name.
Oh,
have you ever had to drop a close friend because of this?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, even before all of the Hollywood and L.A. and, before my career took off the way that it did, I had to leave a few friends behind. I've had to drop clients, yeah, definitely. And that's, sometimes it's a hard decision, sometimes it's not. I have to do what's best for me and what's best for my business at this point. I've worked way too hard to get to where I am and where I'm trying to be, to allow anything and anyone to interrupt that and destroy what I've built. So, so be it. If you're not here for me, you're against me. That's how I look at it,
I love that. If you're not here for me, you're against me.
You're against me.
One more question. Let's talk Twitter. What has Twitter done for your network?
Oh my God, girl! Twitter is like it's a blessing and a curse, though. Let me just say that Twitter is great for our PR. I mean, any social media where you can get the word out instantly to millions of people is such a great thing for publicists everywhere. Like, we wouldn't trade social media for the world. But on the other hand, there's crazy people on Twitter with nothing else to do but to start a mess and say negative things. And I just had a client whose movie premiered on BET, and there was so much backlash against him directly. Yeah, and he's an actor. Like, that's not him in real life. But
Oh,
He's
no.
an actor,
Right.
and so, he got so much craziness. I mean, he got a lot of positive things too, which was great, but people were like coming at him because they didn't agree with the message in the movie, and they just didn't agree with the movie itself and how it represented. It was crazy. So Twitter, I think that it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. I just think that you have a lot of people that really honestly have nothing else to do but sit around, get on Twitter, troll the internet, and just like start up mess because they're hiding behind that computer.
Right.
These are never things that they would say or do in person in your face. So I don't know. I just think we can't take it too seriously. It's Twitter, It is what it is.
Right.
You don't know these people personally, so
Right.
you're always going to have haters, and you just have to, just roll with it. And laugh at things. Like, I laugh at so much stuff now. It's ridiculous. Like, you just have to let things go. You can't take this stuff personally. These people aren't paying your bills. These people aren't doing anything.
Don't pay
they're
my
not
car
doing
bill.
anything. Thank you. So
Right.
it is what it is. I definitely, like I said, I appreciate social media for what it does for my business and my clients, but you're always going to get the bad with the good.
Right.
Always.
Hold on, we have a caller calling in from the 210. 210, you are on Ladies Night Radio with Denaja, Diva Ebony B, and I almost said your government name. And this is Lakia Somerville of Impact Agency. Who is this?
Hi, this is Jasmine. I'm calling to say I'm happy to hear my friend on your show.
Jasmine!
Hi, Tia.
That's what's up. It's all about support. I love it.
No, this girl supports me like to know, and we've been friends since like third grade. I love her to death.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, to have
you
a friend for them.
Have an excellent show.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for calling in. Did you have any questions? Did you want to say anything about Maya Angelou who just passed?
It's really sad. I remember being in Portugal a couple of years ago, and we did a Black History event, and four women that I know really well recited her Phenomenal Woman poem, and it was absolutely amazing. So that will always be my memory of her.
Wow. Yeah, Phenomenal Woman is, whew. Yeah.
I know. That's so powerful. I remember having to do that whole poem on stage by myself. I can't remember if it was elementary school or high school, but I remember having to, like, do it and just practicing to memorize it and learn it. And, I put a little acting skills in there and to really just, like, make her message come through. And that's such, like, a powerful poem. And I think that, that can be revised right now, and people really need to read that, like women, just from what we were talking about.
Right.
That
about,
right there.
Uneducated young girls. But
Right.
I was just calling, so I stayed woke to listen.
Oh.
But I'm proud of you all, and ladies, your show is wonderful. So keep up the
thank
good
you
work.
so very, very much. We truly appreciate that. Please don't feel free to call back in. Absolutely.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Have a good night.
Good night.
You too, Mama.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. Yeah, it's crazy, and I guess if you think about the impact that women have in general, and women don't understand how much power they have. I think that's the biggest thing
I say it all the time. Nope, I say it all the time. We do not understand and realize our power and use it for good enough.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely, because we will definitely talk about each other's shoes, talk about each other's whatever, and, and as opposed to just actually being like, oh, that's nice, they'll be like, oh, that's cute, except, like, why you gotta hate for? Why you gotta get mad? Really? Is it that serious? How you getting mad for it? Like, for real now? Are you actually getting ticked off? Really? It's like, I think we need more people to be positive. We need more people. We need more women to understand that, like, if we could get together and really work this out, we could rule the world for real. Like, come on now.
Seriously, hello.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like, so we get things done. We know how to build things. You know, we know how to build businesses. We know how to communicate. So why can't we work together? And we're so constant about working against each other. You know what I mean? And it's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, we do need more of that. Like, one of my business partners, you know, is a female. We went to college together, and we were perfectly fine with each other. Like, you two ladies seem like you get along fine. You have this radio show. You're giving a platform for women like me, you know, to talk about what I do, and we just need more of that. We really do.
Yes. We absolutely need more of that, and I think that that's the biggest thing about this whole industry is about supporting each other. And the industry is built around relationships. How can we not support each other?
Right. Right.
Thank you for listening to the #1 radio station for the people.
Nexxlegacy Radio.